All right, folks. Good evening. Good evening, Living Proof community. You know, when I can't even remember what year it might have been, but I remember when we were starting to both recruit information from cancer survivors as well as explaining to the press about what had been the progression of cancer treatment and the role perhaps that the PMC played in it. I used to say, oh, I can walk forward, thank you. All right, you all see me? Red shirt, I'm wearing my original 1980. I got it, Bill. At any rate. So, but one of my metaphor stories was, you know, anybody who had dealt with cancer treatment would ever want would be to ride 200 miles in the rain and just be like anybody else. And I found myself today wishing for a lot of rain, quite frankly. I don't know how you guys, how everyone does it. It is such a remarkable group of people. I mean, we all smile, and we know the support system is there, and we know the community is there, but this is pretty difficult weather for long-distance biking, and everybody deserves a round of applause, really. I do a shout out to my own team. I've got a bunch of ringers who are helping me who are 30 years younger than I am, so I'm not ashamed to say that. At any rate, look, we do this every year, and I see how the community has grown. If you haven't heard, we registered, at least or acknowledged, 1,168 cancer survivors, you know, riding and or volunteering in this weekend's PMC. So it's pretty remarkable, and regardless of the role you might play on PMC weekend, it takes quite a crew. But I will say about the rider component of it is, you know, I'm out on the road like everybody else, and just the behavior gets better and smarter. Again, to move this many people across the state, and now most of us are going to Cape Cod, and to do that in primetime summertime with as few incidents, it's really about the composite personality that is the typical PMC recruit, rider, and or volunteer. So everybody, again, give yourself a hand. You're all pretty good. So at this point, I thank you, and I'm going to hand over the mic to Dena, who is a metastatic breast cancer survivor team. I'm forgetting I forgot it. Breast friend. Yeah. We can say that here. Dena spoke once before, and she is one of us. So please welcome her, and she will initiate the toast at the end of her comments. Dena?
I don't need it.
Okay.
I do.
So keep it close.
Okay. All right, I've never spoken in front of this many people after riding a lot of miles, so bear with me. Hi, everyone. My name is Dena Ofengeim, and I'm a second-year rider, captain of Team Breast Friends, and Living Proof rider. I had written a whole toast a few weeks ago for today, and if the Living Proof community knows, better than anyone else probably, you make plans and the universe laughs. Before I get into all of that, though, I just wanted to say thank you. Thank you to Billy, Phil, and the rest of the PMC team for even thinking of me to give this toast. Looking out at all of you, the sea of blue shirts, with how many years of riding and volunteering experience each of you have, I do have a little bit of imposter syndrome here. For decades, and in some cases, you've been participating since the beginning. Naturally, I was pretty nervous after registering for the first time. not having ridden a bike in years, but a friend and 11-year rider, Linda Weiner, actually had said something very wise to me. Everyone around you, the other riders, volunteers, pedal partners, supporters, the Living Proof community, their energy really carries you through. You'll see. And I thought that was a little bit of a platitude at the time that she was using to make me feel better about the daunting mileage. After riding last year, though, and actually getting to experience that energy firsthand, I understood what she meant. It really is something that is almost indescribable. It kind of is truly magical. Completing the PMC last year, riding with Team Breast friends and this community, raising money for Dana-Farber is undoubtedly one of my proudest accomplishments, and I can confidently say that, in part, thanks to all the work that you do in fundraising, raising awareness, I am standing here today. You folks are incredible and a true inspiration, and I want to thank you guys all for a moment just for inspiring me to even sign up. Anyway, so my speech was going to talk about my cancer journey, how I was diagnosed with stage 4 breast cancer, how my story is not unique, cancer affects so many, how incredible Dana-Farber is, we all know that firsthand, how we PMCers, living proof or not, have our own hardships that we have to navigate, but how beautiful it is that we put our lives on hold and come together for this special weekend in August. Anyway, I had an appointment last week that made my original speech feel just a little bit stale. For context, I'll give you the cliff notes. I got diagnosed with metastatic breast cancer at just 28 years old, and fast forward to December of that year, I could barely walk and went to the Brigham Women ER for imaging. A few hours, blood tests, and MRI later, my sciatica diagnosis at the time actually turned out to be a broken back. And I didn't even realize, but I was just a few millimeters from being paralyzed the waist down. Something that didn't quite register until weeks later because I was still stuck on the "you have stage 4 cancer" part. At this point, I didn't know if I'd be alive in 2 to 3 months, so my mobility, as you can imagine, wasn't really top of mind. Through all of this, my family and friends were scrambling to schedule appointments, care, and the like in the background. All was processing and making sense of my diagnosis. Jobs and personal lives were put on hold to figure out next steps, but the only thing that wasn't a question, that I would be getting treated at Dana-Farber. Anyway, I responded exceedingly well to treatment, and my cancer responded with drastic decrease and then stabilized, acting more like the chronic illness than a terminal disease, being treated with pills and non-chemo infusions. For the past 2.5 years, I have lived a thriving life. I married my husband in Italy, changed careers, traveled, I'm able to walk my dog every day, and most days I almost forget that I even have cancer. So what's changed? As many of you know, most stage 4 cancers are incurable, and as such, stability rather than remission are the goal. For 2.5 years, my cancer had either been shrinking or stable. Well, last week during my regular scans, I had my first real progression, 3+ new growths in my liver. And you know what? I wasn't scared. Unlike the very, very terrified 28-year-old I was in December of 2021, facing a stage 4 cancer diagnosis and an unknown future, when I saw my results last week, I realized that no part of me was scared, not even a little bit. And I sure as hell was still riding today. And that's quite literally... Thanks, guys. And that's quite literally thanks to Dana-Farber, thanks to the PMC, because of the money we raise that directly contributes to Dana-Farber-driven research, leading to more and more novel therapeutic breakthroughs. I have more lines of treatment available to me than fingers on my hand. Finishing in P-Town last year, I knew immediately that as long as my legs and spine worked like they should, I will be a PMC rider for life, because it really is that incredible of an event and an organization. We all know that, but it is this community and the magic you all bring to this weekend that has made me a PMC lifer, PMC lifer out of me. I would like to raise... I would like for you all to raise your glass for a toast. take little sips. There are a lot of people to thank. First, I want to toast to Billy for founding and running this incredible organization year in and year out. It is no easy feat to fundraise and pull off an event of this scale. Even once is an incredible accomplishment. But to do it better and raise more money than any other sports fundraiser for over 40 years is a triumph that deserves its own recognition. A toast to the whole PMC team and the thousands of volunteers that make today not only possible, but run smoothly. Without you, we would all be lost, probably somewhere in Connecticut. A toast to all the sponsors for donating time, goods, and services so that we are well hydrated, fed, and entertained, and massaged. A toast to all of our donors. Without them, we would be out a lot of money personally. A toast to our pedal partners that inspire us with their resilience and perseverance. Honestly, the ride into Lakeville was the least painful incline that I had because I was crying so hard, but they got me through. A toast to all of the riders for being just crazy enough to take on the insane mileage, really not that insane, and the hefty fundraising commitment. We would not be at the billion plus we are today, even if one of you hadn't participated. A special toast to you, us, the Living Proof community. I wouldn't be here if each one of you hadn't paved the proverbial bike path before me, showing me that there is life after cancer, there is strength after cancer, there is purpose after cancer. You inspire me to sign up and keep going, even when I sometimes want to quit. Finally, you can finish your glasses here, so. Let's toast to $1 billion and counting, raised for Dana-Farber by the Pan Mass Challenge. Cheers to this community, to many more years into finding a cure for cancer, 1 mile at a time. Thank you.
Let your hair fall back.